I don't know why we can't get that transition right.
What was wrong with it?
It flamed out on me. I still have not gone to where did I say I was going to go?
Oh, Guitar Center or something.
Center to look at when I can fit that in. It's Critique-Ology. We're back.
Critique-Opolis.
So I haven't even had anything to drink today. Critique-Opolis. I'm Jay. And
I'm Louisa.
There you go. Good job.
Oh, thanks.
So, thank God nobody can see the calamity that goes into putting this thing together before we do it. This week, this is all you, kiddo. I thoroughly enjoyed this, but this week was Luisa's pick. And we watched this forever and a day ago. Mm-hmm. When did we watch this?
Yeah, we did watch this a really long time ago. I have no idea. In October, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. What was the name of it?
The Lunchbox.
There you go. Now, give us the rundown. Stars. It was a Bollywood movie.
Okay, sorry. No, not Bollywood.
It's not?
No. I mean, Indian, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no song and dance.
Yep, no masala. No, yeah.
No, what'd you say?
No masala.
Okay. I just thought that was a dish.
You can use it like, a generic term. I don't want to say that's not probably correct, but
you're more
covers a lot of I don't know.
Ground.
Thank you. So, okay, yeah. So the movie that we watched last was The Lunchbox. This movie came out in... Nice job being prepared, Louisa.
This was a 90 movie. 90s.
2013.
No, 2013. Director?
Ritesh Batra.
Okay.
And,
have you seen his stuff before?
Well, I was starting to look that up, but I didn't really do that. But yes, I think so. I think I have.
And I commented the two primaries were who?
Okay, so the main star of the movie is Irrfan Khan, which is initially what drew me to the movie. I saw it in the movie theater when it was released. And Irrfan Khan, for those of you that don't know, was a big star in Indian film, and then was able to cross over successfully, I should say, to American film. So he's done the whole, all there is, I guess, to do. Well,
What did I see him in we were watching him? I've seen this guy before.
Could have seen him in The Life of Pi, I do believe.
Yeah, he was the dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He was the zookeeper dad.
Yep, and he was also in Slumdog Millionaire.
Yep. I saw him in that.
Yeah, he's been in lots of movies. I mean, I have Indian movies and American movies that he's been in.
Who was he in Slumdog Millionaire?
He was the policeman.
Cop, that's right. Because I saw it in the theater. I saw that when that came out.
Yeah, that was great.
Okay, so give us the...
Okay, so The Lunchbox, and I'm reading this from IMDb.com. A mistaken delivery in Mumbai's famously efficient lunchbox delivery system connects that young housewife to an older man in the dusk of his life as they build a fantasy world together through notes in the lunchbox. So, in India, for those of you who don't know, their lunchbox is called a tiffin, and it's a series of containers stacked on top of each other, and the wife prepares amazing Indian food fresh every morning and puts it in this tiffin, and these guys come to pick it up, and they deliver it to, it's a service, and they deliver it to the people at work.
And this is I didn't know anything about this, but there's a real like there was nothing, at least from what I can see, computerized about it, but it's just this intricate web of delivery guys who know which facilities to go to and which departments to drop these boxes at. And they're not really marked or labeled. It's just like they have the same, like you get the same driver or the same delivery guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no labels. There's not like someone standing there with a clipboard like, okay, this lot goes to this place. It's just, they just know.
And they just bike all over the city, and these cities are like, at least for this movie, it's really What do you remember where it took place?
Well, it says in Mumbai, so
okay, so a big city.
Huge, yeah.
And these guys,
formerly Bombay,
are running all over creation with these lunchboxes, and you said they're called tiffins.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the thing that, outside of the relationship of the two primaries, just to watch this kind of dance of these delivery guys just intersecting through, a heavy population of people. Even to like describe the city and how it's laid out, it's not laid out like an American city. There's nooks and crannies and alleyways and open buildings where like they don't have a full wall is open and you can see into the building and
everything going on.
And these guys just know where to go.
And they're out there rain or shine, and it's incredibly hot and gross in India, and they're on bicycles, so they balance all these tiffins for all these different people on bicycles, and they're competing with the traffic in India, which is horrendous, is putting it lightly, I think.
And it's like, you never hear about these guys getting into like traffic accidents. You hear about that stuff here. I'm not saying that
That's
they don't
true.
happen, but like,
yeah,
it's the
it
same.
would be a disaster if someone doing a lunch carry got into an accident.
Be all over their nose. Imagine all these guys coming home later in the evening.
I
just
didn't
being
eat
like,
all day.
We're getting a divorce. That's one thing I ask for is lunch. You can't
Once
even
a day.
do that. So Irrfan is, I don't remember his, actually, I got all the stuff right here. Saajan was his name in the movie. And is it Isla?
Yes, it is Isla, I think. Yep.
Nimrat Kaur? Is that how you say her name?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not stealing it away from you. Go ahead. What's the... she's married, but that...
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, so she's married to a guy who works a lot out of the house, and they have a daughter together.
Isn't it kind of suspected that he's screwing around?
I think so, yeah. I would say so. There's not really any relationship or romance there's not any romance to their relationship. There's, as far as from what we saw in the movie, there's nothing between them. Yeah. I mean, he comes home, he gets ready, and he eats dinner and he goes to bed, and they get up in the morning and they do their whole routine. So
and
I mean,
Irrfan, what was
sad.
his?
And then Irrfan is
he worked in some kind of insurance claims office.
Yes,
something, yeah.
He did. He did something with like math.
Yeah.
And works long hours, and doesn't. Correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't have a wife.
His wife died.
He's
still kind of grieving it.
Yeah, I think so. And also,
he's being saddled with teaching like an understudy by his boss before he retires because he's on the cusp of retirement.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
And his understudy is very, he's gung-ho and really wants to learn, and Saajan could just kind of give a shit, at least at the beginning.
Yeah. They're definitely not friends, and the apprentice guy is
He wants
to be friends with Irrfan Khan, and Irrfan's like, character, I'm just here to teach you how to do this job so that when I leave, you know how to do it.
Which he doesn't even really do for about half of the movie. But the Lunchbox starts appearing for him, and is it... Wake this up for me.
So
like mistakenly it goes to him somehow?
Yeah, so on accident, the lunchbox that the character Ela is packing for her husband gets delivered to Irrfan Khan's desk every day, and they start to put notes in the lunch boxes.
Like, he doesn't know where it came from, right? Because he doesn't have anyone to deliver it to him.
Right.
And
so it's like a surprise that his lunchbox came. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So I think he must start by sending a note back
just says,
to say,
this was like amazing.
A delicious.
Whatever she made some kind of... What did she make? Do you remember? Some kind of curry.
I don't remember what she made.
Because when we were watching it, you were like, I've had that dish before. It's amazing.
Oh, did I? I don't remember that.
Yeah, I'm like, all right. But, he sends a note back to say thank you, and it was the best meal he's had in God knows how long. And, like, just from the compliment, that starts the relationship, because I don't think Isla's received a compliment, like, in the span of her marriage.
Her husband's never, 100%. But her husband's never said anything to her about his lunches.
And I guess from that moment on, they just start, she starts like experimenting, and she starts she's always been communicating with her upstairs neighbor, that auntie.
Yeah.
She calls the auntie, and auntie's upstairs, and auntie knows all, and she can ad lib on some of the recipes, but she's totally off screen, and you
just hear her voice.
Yeah, when Isla will yell upstairs out the window.
Yeah, they live in such a building or in such apartments, if you will, that they're just like it's open on one side, and so they just talk to each other up and down through the windows.
And the relationship ensues. Don't want to give away the whole movie, but I'd say fairly quickly they get to a point where he suggests they meet, and
fairly quickly, yeah.
I don't even know if, like, for the show, if we tell you what happens with that, like, it'll take the air out of you seeing the movie, but I'll leave that up to you. Like, I'm not gonna spoil it, but what do you recall? What happened with the relationship with the understudy and Irrfan? He kind of, the understudy calls him on, like, you don't really want to teach me, do you?
I think he called him out, and I think wasn't the understudy, I like that word, but I think maybe apprentice, but wasn't he going to be getting married? And didn't something happen with his
there was
marriage?
There was a mistake made on one of the documents that he prepped, and Irrfan got yelled at, or not Irrfan, this kid. They were gonna fire the kid, and Irrfan's like, no, it was my fault. I'm teaching him that I should have checked it. And remember, because they get called into the boss's office.
That's right, they did. Yeah, and Irrfan's character took the blame.
And then at that point, I think it finally crystallized with him. It's like, I can't let this kid hang out to dry. I gotta, like, actually make
help
sure he
him,
learns something.
teach him.
Yeah. I wouldn't have picked this, but I enjoy movies that are not just a character study, but kind of a review of, like, somebody's grief and how they deal with it. And that was kind of the thread that went through the movie, was his loss of his wife. It just kind of, he was just I don't want to call him a sad sack, but he kind of was for most of the movie, because he can't mentally and emotionally get over that.
Yeah.
And this Lunchbox was kind of it was like a small little nudge in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Like a little bit of happy excitement in his life because he was so, I mean,
Forlorn
rightfully so, but not over his wife's death. That was like what, when he wasn't at work, I think that's all he thought about. And then when he was at work, he did work. And those were the two main thoughts in his head.
There was a scene he went home and he just like sat on the couch and he didn't watch television. He just sat there.
Mm-hmm.
I remember remarking to you, I'm like, oh my God, this guy is miserable.
Yeah, he's really unhappy. And again, the lunchbox that mysteriously appeared on his desk, and then the notes between him and the lady who's cooking his meals is like a bright spot in his life. And I mean, she always cooked different things. Like she put on a lot of, I mean, I'm sure most wives probably do, but she put in a lot of
She put in her own little signature. She definitely made it her own.
Yeah.
She customized it.
Yeah.
And part of the reason I don't want to give away the ending is because since we saw it in October, I don't remember exactly how it ended. But even if I did, friends, I wouldn't tell you. I think it was on a positive note, but I like him because I haven't seen a lot of actors who just have a calm, measured demeanor, and he reminds me of what's his name from Shawshank Redemption, Morgan Freeman. He's like that. You know what? That's what he is. He's the Indian Morgan Freeman.
That's a big compliment.
Well, I don't know a lot of Indian actors. I mean, you know more than I do, but. Yeah, we don't really give stars here, but if you haven't seen it yet, definitely worth checking out.
It's just an enjoyable film.
And you'd seen it before.
It's a good movie.
You'd seen it before where?
At the Michigan Theater.
Uh-huh. Oh, but you had seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I love this movie.
All right.
It's like all good things.
You ready for a recipe?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Okay, well.
Are we not eating, we're drinking?
Well, today we'd be drinking, and I have two versions for the J Hey Honey Instagram. I have not put this one up, but dinner and a movie today. Sometimes on the mailing list I do cocktails, and this is a pseudo cocktail. It wasn't named, so I'm going to christen this. I just told you the name. What did I tell you the name was? See, this is what happens when I don't write stuff down.
I don't remember. All I remember is the picture that you showed me.
The Coolada cocktail.
It's a it's not a creamsicle.
The creamsicle cocktail, because it looks like.
You're sure
one.
It's cream? Okay.
The creamsicle cocktail, but. Initially, when I saw this thing, I thought it was milk, which Louisa can't drink, but it's actually yogurt, not infused, but stuffed with slices or chopped up bits of oranges, drizzled with honey, and finished with a lime or a mint sprig, but because I know so many of my listeners and my customers are giant booze bags, I'm going to give you the alcoholic version. Instead of yogurt, even if you do use yogurt for this, you're going to want to put it in a rocks glass or a small tumbler glass. You can use rum chata. So rum chata, ice, slices of orange, the mint sprig, and then drizzle with honey. Just know that this is a cold cocktail, so when you put honey on the oranges or in the yogurt or in the rum chata, it's not going to dissolve. That's going to be part of the consumable. It's not just going to sweeten it. You're going to be drinking it with the liquid portion. But
You're going to stir it and mix it together.
When it's cold, it's not.
Oh, it
gonna,
won't mix like that.
No. So just put the honey on the oranges before you put it in the yogurt or the rum chata. And if you don't want to heat rum chata, that's definitely served cold. But you'll still get the sweetness off of it. It just won't be overpowering since the fluid's cold. And if you're going to use rum chata, you're going to use ice. That's the cocktail for today, the creamsicle cocktail. You ready for the blacklist?
Yep.
All right. This is a section we introduced last week. Hollywood puts out every year a list of unproduced movies called the Blacklist. These are pictures that have either not been picked up or put into development, or they have been picked up and are awaiting a production and a release slot, but they're getting a ton of buzz around the town, as they say. And these are the casting choices that we picked out after we read you the synopsis of what this movie is going to be, who we would cast in the primary roles. This is quickly becoming the most fun part of the show. So this week, the script is being released as Rewired. It is the story of Ted Kaczynski and for those of you who don't know, Ted Kaczynski, infamously better known as the Unabomber, spent time at U of M, and then after he was at U of M, he went to Harvard. Or did he go to U of M first? He did U of M and Harvard. I think it was Harvard.
And then you have the University of Michigan, I think.
Was that the end? Either way, he went to both schools. But while he was at Harvard, he was under the tutelage of a Dr. Henry Murray, who was a psychologist and I think also a clinical psychologist. Actually, I'll give you the overview of who he was. We pulled up the Wikipedia on him. American psychologist at Harvard from 1959 to 1962. He conducted a series of psychologically damaging and purposefully abusive experiments on minors and his undergraduate students. I should point out these experiments with the undergraduate students he had them volunteer for. And the most notable undergraduate who volunteered was Ted Kaczynski. He subjected his students to a rigor of psychological tortures, belittling commentary over several hours. And from what I had read, there was a lot of post-traumatic stress that these students took on and reflected upon after they graduated. Director of Harvard Psychological Clinic in the School of Arts and Sciences after 1930. He developed a theory of personality called personology based on need and press. Also a co-developer with Christiana Morgan of the thematic apperception test, TAT. Referred to as the second bestseller at Harvard ever published, second only to the Harvard Handbook of Music. But in the end, his legacy is a mind-bending prick. He messed up a lot of people. So we only picked out two people for the casting. I'm sure there's going to be other people. If you read through Ted Kaczynski's bio, there's a number of other, like his parents and his brother, I'm sure will be in some way represented. But Luis and I just picked out casting for Ted and Dr. Murray. Go ahead.
They would be the two main stars of the film anyway.
So who did you have for Ted?
So this just came to me this evening.
You didn't have this picked out?
No, I think I had someone else picked out.
Okay.
Which I wrote down this person's name, but it's not someone that I remember, so I'm not really sure why their name is there, and I didn't look into that. So anyway, the actor Tom, I'll probably say his name wrong, but Skerritt.
Tom Skerritt?
Mm-hmm.
You mean like is he still alive? He was.
Yeah, he is, because I checked to make sure. Like before we did this
Ted
today.
Kaczynski?
Yeah. Because
He's like 80.
He is. But I'm going for looks. So I wanted someone that, could pull off the look.
Yeah, but this is supposed to be when he's in college.
Oh, he's supposed to be super young. Maybe that's why I picked this person that I have no idea who it is, because I had another an alternative name.
I had an unknown. Who's your for the young person?
I don't know. Let me look and see that it's actually someone, because I don't recognize the name.
Okay, go ahead, look him up. And while you're doing that, the person I picked. You're not even going to know who this person is, but I wanted to select a young actor, and typically young actors, they're still in the process of making their bones. So they're not necessarily well known yet. This kid, Asa Butterfield, he was in The Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
That's who you chose?
Yeah. You know that kid?
Yeah. I mean, kind of, I think. But I was just like...
He was in Hugo, or he did a voice in Hugo, 10,000 Saints, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Because his IMDb page, has him with kind of spiky hair and the glasses. And I've seen pictures of Ted Kaczynski when he was in college, and he looks not dissimilar. You don't like that pick? You can tear it up.
No, I like that pick, but
this is just based purely off looks. All these movies I listed to you, I haven't seen any of them.
Did you see an article
on what?
Regarding this rewired script with...
No, he just looks kind of nerdy, and I don't know if you know this, but Ted Kaczynski, pretty great at parties. And this kid looks like he'd be a lot of fun.
I just came up with this article before we...
I can't believe that joke went right over your head.
Got on tonight. Well, I'm still stunned. I'm sorry. I have no idea what you just said. But it says Asa Butterfield for Kaczynski.
Are you really?
Yeah. And that's I'm really shocked. Look at this.
This is a Critique-Opolis exclusive. I am not cheating here. I did not look this kid up to play this role.
So I'm like, wow, what's going on here? I'm very you and someone else have the same thought.
Oh my God. Someone should be paying us for this show.
Twilight level.
I did not see that article.
Okay, I'm speechless.
I can't believe that. Wow. We got to keep doing these.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to find the next scripts, because that's what we have to do. But wow. Okay, just so everyone knows how we put this together, we pick a movie from the blacklist, and then we pick out, once we read the synopsis, we just surmise on what the title characters would be. It'll be 2 to 5 characters, just from what we get from the synopsis. And if the synopsis gives us any kind of a clue, as somebody might have a boss or a director that they work, the character works under, or a mother or a father. And this is only the second blacklist script that we did this with. We just thought we'd try it.
From the framing of the characters, we think about other movies that have, if not a similar storyline, a character that is similar in another movie, and how we would frame that character in this new Blacklist movie. But we do our own independent research on actors. So what I look at for my picks is different from what Louisa looks for hers. And Louisa just pulled up this article that Asa Butterfield might be cast in this movie. I have not seen that article, and I did not come across it when we picked this out a couple months ago. But I think I missed my calling as a casting agent in Hollywood.
I think so.
Okay, well then let's see if they have my other pick for Dr. Henry Murray. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Michael Fassbender.
Okay.
Is that it? That, don't tell me they already picked him for that.
I didn't see that in the article. I didn't scroll down anymore, so I'm not really sure.
Okay. But Fassbender, like when he played Magneto, and he was in a concentration camp in the X-Men movies. He became like a Nazi hunter, and he had a very clinical way of talking. I just think that would translate well to him being a doctor. Throw a pair of spectacles on him and put him in a cardigan and have him insult people. I mean, he's good at insulting people. Try to get past the fact that I'm amazing at casting people, okay? And like, give me your thoughts here. Who did you cast for Henry Murray?
Well, so again, like with our previous movie review of the Lunchbox, this was like months and months ago, and I probably haven't looked at these notes since then. So,
way to be prepared.
I know. Nice job.
What do you have written down?
So I have Patrick Stewart for Henry Murray, but then I have question marks. So like,
you could have
were those question marks because I wasn't sure, or because? So I also have this name written down, Malcolm McDowell. Do you know who that is?
Oh yeah, he was in Malcolm McDowell's title character in Clockwork Orange.
Okay, so that's who I'm trying to look up.
He's been in a ton of stuff.
So
he's he's been in a bazillion movies.
So I think that I'm remembering correctly when we were looking at. Oh yeah, okay. Now I know who we're looking at. I think we looked up pictures of a young Ted Kaczynski and Dr. Henry Murray.
Yep.
And so then I looked online for actors that looked like them.
Yeah, you know, I could get behind that. I could get behind that pick. God, he has been around a while. Yeah, he was in A Clockwork Orange, which I am certain you never saw.
Definitely didn't see that.
If you look at his list of projects, it goes on forever and a day. Looks like he's in that upcoming movie Father Stew with Mark Wahlberg. Just a ton of stuff. Well, I'm patting myself on the back for that Asa Butterfield pick. Wow.
Yeah, I think that's really awesome. I'm like still in shock. Like quick review before we turned our mics on. Like it just came up, and when you said that, I was like, "What are?"
Yeah,
are you on some other page with someone? Because
I did not look that up. I just looked at.
That's insane.
I just read the synopsis, and then I flip through IMDb photos of actors. That's it.
That's pretty cool. That's really cool.
All right. Well.
So good job, you.
I know what I'm doing. All right. So you got Malcolm McDowell, and did you have anyone young picked out for Ted Kaczynski, not Tom Skerritt? I think Tom Skerritt's older than Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah, they're definitely both old. I have this guy, Patrick Fischler. But again, I'm not sure because of the age thing.
Fischler?
Yes, Ischler.
Oh, there he is. Oh, I know that dude. He's in. He always plays like a socially, sexually awkward weirdo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's been. He was in Mad Men. He was a comedian in Mad Men who was very successful and had a wife who screwed around on him, but he was kind of a worm. He was in
wife screwed around on him?
Yeah. He was in Mulholland Drive. And always plays like not just an oddball, but someone who has has a griminess to them.
Mm-hmm.
I could understand why you would pick that for Ted Kaczynski.
Again, it's like a lot to do with the look.
Oh, he's especially after he went out to live in the woods. Ted Kaczynski went out to live in the woods. He definitely ended up grimy. Those are good. We would tell you what the next movie is, but we haven't picked it out yet. So,
you don't know.
We've got some work to. Anything? I can't. You missed my joke about Ted Kaczynski being great at parties.
I heard it, but yeah, I missed it.
I thought of that when
I was very distracted.
I was so looking forward to that. All right. Well, we got more movies to pick out. Anything else we haven't covered?
I think we got everything that we need to get. So we need to pick out a new movie to review, and then we also need more.
Well, you know what?
Blacklist scripts.
That's just going to be how this goes. Is we're not going to tell you in advance what we're reviewing.
No, definitely not.
Tune in and find out.
Until next time.
Toodles.